What up, though, Lions Nation? Tonight, it's your lad Eazy, and I'm here to break down some of the latest and greatest Detroit Lions news and rumors. But first, I need you guys to do me the biggest favor right now. Drop down. Just give me 50 push-ups. Just 50 of them. That's nothing. Or you can hit the like button. Whatever's easier for you. I'm just saying. Like button's not a lot easier. Make sure you subscribe as well. All right. So today, really, what we're going to break down, what we talk about is just what I predict the Detroit Lions going to do. I think they're leaving some breadcrumbs on top of things that Brad Holmes has already come out and said, right? Like he last week during the owners meeting said, I'm going to let the draft come to me. Meaning you're not going to see a trade up, a trade back, any of the sorts before the actual draft board is presented in front of Brad Holmes and who's available to him as it progresses. I think that's what happened last year too. I truly believe the Lions may have traded back had Terry not fell to him, but he did. Um, Personally, though, I think the Detroit Lions are trading back, and I want you guys to just play a little game here with me, if you don't mind. I want to look at the Lions' top 30 visits, and I want you guys to comment down below the name that you see that could be a first round pick, because I already have it in my mind, and maybe I'll say it as I go too. We gotta get it bigger than that. Come on, what we doing? All right, here we go. Running back, Lehan Larson from UC Davis. I don't even know who that is. Not a first round pick. All due respect to him, maybe he's a great guy. And, who knows? Isaac Tesla, I believe he's from Michigan. So they put the little note here, could be defined as a local visit. So maybe not necessarily like, we went off his way to meet with them, but he's from the mitten, and we obviously had our local pro day recently too. Gray Zabel, that's probably one I'd knocked as as a possible first round pick. Dylan Fairchild, probably not. Shamar Stewart, that's guy probably going first round, for sure going first round. Josiah Stewart, second round pick. Q Robin, uh, Tyleek Williams, probably a second round pick, maybe a late first. I think he's a second round pick. Chaz Chimbliss, Ruben Hippolyte, Maxwell Harrison could be the first rounder. So we got by my account, and you guys tell me what you're thinking too. 1, 2, 3. 3 guys in their top 30 visits that are even projected to be first round picks. All right. You know what that tells me? The Detroit Lions are looking towards trading back, or at least they're more open to that than they are moving up, depending how the board falls to them. And just another thing to double down on that being the scenario. All right, let me share this next one. Before I went, like literally right before I went live, um, Ian Rapport shared a tweet, and it was just a little blurb from Jason Light from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I believe they're sitting at pick 19. Actually, I know they're sitting at pick 19. And so, quote tweet from Ian Rapport, that's what it feels like. Not a lot of teams trying to move up. And this is from the Pewter Report that says hashtag Bucks GM Jason Light says that there have been years where he thought about trading down more than others. This year, it'll be all about what happens and who falls to them. He doesn't foresee many teams wanting to trade up across the league. Couple reasons why this kind of fits what the Detroit Lions got going on. I believe the Detroit Lions are looking to trade back. Number one, we got to re-sign so many really good players. So I'm talking about guys that can reset the market, demand top dollar. And Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, those 2 safeties can reset the market in back-to-back years for the Detroit Lions. We're dealing with a top 3 running back in the game in Jahmyr Gibbs right now. Aiden Hutchinson's coming up. Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. Like the list goes on and on. Jack Campbell. It's insane. We have so many good players that we're going to have to re-sign soon if we want to keep them. We want to keep them around. You already paid Aleem McNeil. You already paid Penei Sewell. You already paid Amon St. Brown. And you already paid Jared Goff. There is just so much. There's a cap limit in the NFL. Like there's so much money that you're allotted and allowed to use year by year basis. Looking at the setup right now for the Detroit Lions, if they want to keep some of these guys, and mind you, I don't think they're keeping all of them. There's just no way you keep all those guys. That's every one of those guys. They made like a top 5 contract at that position. I believe when the time comes, at least for Jameson Williams, that would be the case. You got to get guys on rookie contracts. If you want to keep more than less, if you want to keep a lot of these names, you're going to like stack that roster with rookie contracts. Now, I think that pivots you towards a trade back easily, right? I think obviously you build your team out, you get your starter quality guys, second, third, fourth. And I think this is kind of that kind of draft as well. Like, because of my second point in this is I think there's probably 4 or 5 guys in this draft class that are stars. And I'd honestly would be fine if people want to limit that conversation to 2: Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. If you want to debate about Mason Graham, whoever else, sure. The rest of this draft class is foreseen as starters, not stars, starters, like guys like just do their spot. They're not bad. Doesn't mean they're bad at all. That means they're just not going to be all pro. They're not. No, they're not always going to cash in a Pro Bowl year to year. Although Pro Bowls getting handed out like cars at an Oprah Winfrey show, so maybe they will be Pro Bowlers. Who knows? And so with that being said, like if that's and then by the way, it's a deep class of starters as well. It's not just like, hey, all the starters stop here at pick 28. No, the starter conversation extends itself, in my opinion, from what I've looked at, to like middle of round 3, maybe even beyond that. And so if you're Brad Holmes in the Detroit Lions, you have stars, right? And it's also kind of unfair to expect star caliber at pick 28 to begin with, but you have stars. All you need is these starters. So why trade up to go get a guy that you may view as, middle of the pack or just a good, when you could trade back and get that same quality on top of like fulfill your roster needs contract wise. Like we need these affordable contracts to afford the contracts of the guys that are killing it for us. I just think everything points to the Detroit Lions trading back in this year's draft. The evidence just keeps surmounting up again from the top 30 visits onto the tweet just now from Ian Rapport, coming from General Manager Jason Light, talking about no one's really looking to trade up right now. I do think this though, and I'm telling myself this personally, because I am a big Shamar guy. You guys know that by now. I like Mikael Williams as well, and that's just me focusing my mind on like the type of caliber defensive end these guys grab. Like I think Mike Green's really good. I think Donovan Ezaraku really good. I think James Pierce is really good. The Detroit Lions have their standard at the position. In fact, they met this week with I believe Derek Walker from the Chicago Bears, another free agent edge rusher, which means they are also still looking to fulfill the edge position. Either way, 6'6", 280 pounds. Like that's just like the caliber of defensive end they're looking for. They want to collapse the pocket. We've been over this. So for me, I set my sights on, in the first round at least, Shamar Stewart, Mikael Williams to fit that description, right? It's going to be very cheap. Like it's not going to take a lot for the Detroit Lions to move up in this draft class if the competition is nowhere to be found. If nobody else wants to trade up and Shamar Stewart falls to pick 19 per se, hey, Jason, this is Brad Holmes here. How about pick 28 here, and I'll give you this compensatory third I have this year, or maybe your third next year because you got 2 of them. Like if the board present, and that's what I'm saying too. Like I'm leaning towards Detroit Lions trading out, and that's just because I think the good guys will be gone by the time we're even within striking distance. But if a guy like Shamar Stewart, Mikael Williams, Gray Zaba obviously on the list too, is within striking distance, I do think Brad picks up that phone, and that cost to move up is a lot cheaper than what it would have been in last year's draft or the year before that. Like, I don't even think it's a bad draft class. I just don't think there's guys that are going to project to be all pros. That's another reason why I like Shamar Stewart as well, too. Like, it's a guy that says at its base is a starter in the NFL, in my opinion. You'll form into that with the upside of being more. Sell me on the low production. Keep putting it out there, Make these other GMs scared. Brad took that visit for a reason. He came in on a cold, I believe it snowed that day. Why is it like this in Michigan? I don't know. But Shamar Stewart came and visited. That's a guy I can see him moving up for. Just those 10 picks. Maybe get him to third. But leaning towards trading back because you want a lot of these guys on rookie deals. And if the Lions do trade back, don't expect 2 second-round picks or anything like that. I mean, ultimately, maybe we would have 2 second-round picks from ours and whatever we receive. But I'm saying in a trade back for pick 28, you're probably looking at a second and maybe a fourth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you're trading up to the top 15. You just it's another team trying to beat another team to a certain guy. And that's the reason why Detroit Lions would benefit from that. Unless again, somebody just wants to, go up, take a chance on someone at 28 and we're blessed. But yeah, that is my take. I think the Detroit Lions are going to trade back in this year's draft class. You guys let me know what you think down below. Plus, make sure you guys are rocking some of the finest Detroit Lions gear by visiting yourself, lionsnationunite.com. My personal favorite right now that we got up is the Dan Campbell shirt. I just love Dan Campbell. He's the absolute man. We got Amon Ra. I don't know if we got JG ones. We should get some up, though. But make sure you guys are visiting Lions Nation Unite. Until then, I'm Eazy, and I'm out.